Ja, hallå och välkomna tillbaka alla för ytterligare 4 presentationer. Och jag heter Anders Haskel och är moderator här under eftermiddagen. Och nästa företag i tur, Next Company, is an Irish company, and I think it's the first time I will moderate an Irish company. So it will be an interesting experience. Welcome, John O'Connor, CEO at Kollect Demand.
Hello, how are you?
Thank you. Well, and you?
Good.
Yeah, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you. Hi, my name is John O'Connor, and I'm the CEO and co-founder of Kollect. Kollect is an online platform that connects customers, that's business and the domestic customers, with waste removal companies. So Kollect sits in the middle, and we charge the customers to get their waste collected. So we're an online platform. I think it's important to highlight here the difference between Sweden and other cities in Europe and America. In these cities in Europe and America, like Ireland and the UK, everybody pays private waste companies for their waste. So waste isn't done by the municipalities. Waste is paid for by private companies, and households and businesses go out if they need container hire, if they need their domestic bins collected, if they need their business waste collected, they go to private waste companies. So we're primarily focused on countries and cities where waste is privatized, and not where municipalities or councils are involved in the waste collection. So I'm just going to quick timeline of Kollect. We launched in 2016, and you can see there our annual growth in revenue in SEK. We launched in 2016, as I said, and we were bootstrapped from day one. We did an IPO in 2019, December 2019, here in Sweden. Just soon after that, COVID hit, obviously, as everyone knows. But the waste industry, luckily, is very resilient. And I suppose the reason we're able to maintain high growth during COVID is we're focused online. We're a waste company that all our resources are focusing on making it simple for a person to book a waste service online. Whereas in Europe and the cities where we operate, a lot of waste companies are traditional and they don't even have a website. So we've just disrupted an industry, and that's why we were able to grow. People were at home during COVID, our businesses, and they were booking their waste services online. So we maintained that growth, as you can see there, between 2020 and 2021. 2021 is based on annualized growth of Q1 this year and Q2, our figures Q1 and Q2. And based on that, that's what we're expected to do, I suppose, for this year. 99. We also we've had a really good, we feel that COVID, although it was obviously very shocking for most businesses, and a lot of our business owners were impacted. As I said, we were still able to maintain that growth. A lot of people ask us, why are you listed in Sweden? Why not Ireland? You can see there the graph that shows how much money was raised in Sweden in Q2 2021 versus the money that was raised for Irish startups from Irish VCs and through the stock exchange in Q2 2021. So obviously Ireland's little amount, Sweden nearly 3 billion euros. So we came to Sweden for the availability of capital. Sweden is known, at least in Ireland, the UK, and I'm sure in the US, for their sustainability goals. And it's much admired, and they're much more advanced than they would be in other cities. So we feel we can learn a lot from the Swedish regarding circular economy. You understand technology companies and have a sophisticated investor base in an ecosystem. So as I said, you can obviously see there, I think there's not many people listed in Ireland. And a lot of people from Ireland, by us listing over in Sweden, we had a lot of Irish people who could buy shares in our company. We're able to the ability to do an ESOP. So we're able to give an ESOP to key hires and reward our staff as we grow. And also the NASDAQ branding is huge for us as we build the commercial side of our business. It's good for knocking on doors, and it's good for building, building credibility in our customer base, that we're listed and they can go online and check out all about us from our regulatory returns. So it's different. There's not many Irish companies that come over here. So that's one of the reasons we did it, is listed in Sweden. So how does Kollect work? Really simple business model. Every other industry has been disrupted. If you think about it, transport. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Is that okay? Yeah, okay. So how Kollect works online and offline. So 80% of our revenue is got from through our platform. And, the waste industry is probably the last industry to be disrupted. It hasn't been, hasn't moved online. And by our estimation, only 1% of waste activities are booked online, where in all other industries, it's, 15, 20, 25% of activities are booked online. So there's a huge opportunity for us to make it simple for people to book a waste service online. So we're very much focused on digital and websites, and that's 80% of our revenue. And 20% of our revenue comes from offline. We have a product called the Big Bin, which is a big bin waste compactor that sits in petrol forecourts, where people can drive to these bin compactors from their holiday homes, or if they have extra rubbish, and put the rubbish into the bins. So I'll just go on to the next slide. The next slide is the Big Bin waste drop-off. So this is 20% of our business. 20% of our business comes from the big bins. The big bins sit on 34 sites in Ireland. We own the big bins. As you can see there, they're big yellow bins. And what happens is when people have extra rubbish, or they're coming from their holiday homes, they drive to their nearest Circle K, they buy a ticket in the shop, or they can go online. The bin opens up, and they put their bags of rubbish into the bin. We take multiple waste streams on these bins. We take recycling waste, food waste, and just your general black bin waste. These have a high gross margin, 60% gross margin, and they have a lifespan of 20 years plus. We've recently, last year, we did a deal with Circle K to scale these onto petrol forecourts throughout Ireland. They're fully remote, they save money, and it's a totally unique proposition. So just to go back on our business models, 80% of our business comes from our online platform, and 20% comes from this product, Big Bin. I'll just go on to my next slide. Is that okay? Are the slides coming up? Okay, the next slide is, so what do we do for both sides of the marketplace? So why, for the platform that I'm speaking about, Kollect, when we go into a city like Manchester, why would a waste company want to work with us, and why would a customer want to work with us? Well, I'll speak about the waste companies first of all. The waste companies, we'd go into a city and we'd advertise digitally to Facebook, Twitter, Google, and offline. So we'd launch the Kollect brand, say in Manchester, and we say to our business customers and our domestic customers, if you have waste, come onto our platform and we'll outsource collection. And we outsource it to these waste companies. And the reason they would want to work with us is there's no customer acquisition costs. They don't have to look after the customer onboarding and the customer journey. We provide them with technology which makes them more efficient, and the waste companies can focus on what they're good at, which is collecting waste and recycling it correctly, where we focus on the customer side. And the reason a customer would use us is, first and most importantly, we only use licensed waste contractors. So every waste company that we work with has a full license, and there's a full history of where the waste goes and that it's recycled. It's simple to use our service. We provide the suppliers with technology, and we can focus on their speciality. So the leadership team is made up of Johnny Fortune. He's our chairman. We realized that being listed comes responsibility, and we also knew that being listed and getting access to grow capital, we'd need people around us that have done that previously, who've scaled companies. And Johnny has previous IPO experience. He was part of the first Irish company that listed in the New York Stock Exchange, Skillsoft, and he was there when it grew from 200 employees to 2,000. So Johnny has been in a startup that has grown quickly, and he's also got his position was CFO. He's also got the experience of dealing with the listed side of the business. We've Melissa O'Coolacon, who also has previous experience of IPO experience. He's been involved in 3 IPOs previously. He's also been a founder of startups, and he worked with NASDAQ. And then we have Stefan Wilstrands. So Stefan is the CFO of G5 Entertainment. And he's very strong from a financial side as well. And then there's myself, John, I'm the founder and CEO. So the Irish waste market, the Irish and UK waste market, you can see there what they're worth. They're privatized, like I spoke about earlier. There's no municipalities involved in the Irish market. It's worth 10 billion. The UK market is worth 100. And I think it's really important to highlight. We only go after business verticals if there's, if the commercial bins are privatized, if most of the domestic is privatized, if the container hire is privatized. So there's big opportunities. At the moment, we're operating in Ireland and we're in Manchester in the UK. And we're obviously hoping to scale throughout the UK and then into other countries throughout Europe and America. So the next slide is our growth plan. So how do we grow this company? Are we going to come to Stockholm, for example? Well, I think it's important to highlight that we only go into cities. So we do a city by city approach. We don't look at countries. We look at cities and we make sure that, first of all, 3 out of the 4 verticals are privatized. So what I mean by that is the domestic waste privatized? Is the business waste privatized? Is the construction commercial waste privatized? Or is the domestic junk container hire privatized? So if there's one of them that's not privatized, that's okay. We'll go into a city if 3 or 4 of them are privatized, but otherwise we won't go into those cities. They need to meet that criteria. We also look for a ready-made fulfillment infrastructure. So we make sure that there's hundreds of waste operators to aggregate. So like in Manchester here, I'm actually here at the moment, there's literally hundreds of waste operators to aggregate. So we can provide business to these waste operators. So we've got demand here and we've got supply here. And we also look for a population size of at least 100,000. So that's our growth plans. And if I go to the next slide is sustainability. So this is really important to us. We recognize that as an online tech company, that's important that we make sure that we enable a sustainable world. So what we do is if you use our service is we try and provide full traceability. We partner with upcyclers. So we have a lot of domestic business, especially during lockdown. People went online and they needed to get a bed removed or they needed to get an old TV taken away or furniture from the attic. We try and work with upcyclers as much as possible, or make sure that your furniture is brought to the best place where it can be recycled as much as possible. This is what customers want. Customers say, for example, in Dublin, they're very much asking about the circular economy and where does the waste go. So this is somewhere we hope to move more focused over the next few years, is providing that full traceability. At the minute, we can show that it goes back to recycling centres, but the big opportunity for us is to make sure that everything's upcycled and everything goes back into, goes to some household or some business. So our sustainable mission is, obviously we're looking at lowering emissions, increasing recycling, divert from landfill. So in Ireland and the UK, a lot of waste goes to landfill, which is wouldn't happen in any other country. So a big mission with us is to make sure that we use recycling centres and that all waste goes back and is used correctly and doesn't go to landfill, and we've zero landfill, and also that we do carbon negative collections. So I'm just going to go into our financials. These are our key financial figures. As you can see there, our revenue Q2 2021 versus Q2 2020 is up just over 40%. The thing I suppose that's extremely pleasing for us as a company is that we've been able to, if you look here at our operating costs, we've been able to lower our operating costs as a percentage of revenue. And you can see here every quarter, you got Q1 2020, and obviously we got Q2 2020 was when COVID hit. So we really cut costs at that stage when COVID hit, because we were uncertain about how resilient the waste industry would be. But luckily, as I said, we're in a good industry and our sales actually went up during COVID. But you can see there that our operating costs are going down quarter on quarter, which is particularly good for us. And the reason for that is a big investment in tech internally within our systems. That as we grow sales, we don't grow headcounts. We keep automating processes and, making our systems more efficient. You can see also there the trend of our revenue per employee as it goes up between January 2020 versus June 2021. So all our staff are obviously we're generating more revenue per employee. So that just shows the efficiencies that are happening within our company. I'll just speak about the warrant raise. So we just completed a warrant raise in last month. So we raised over 30 million SEK. So really, this is the for me as a founder and for Kollect, as our regulatory press releases have shown, this is a huge amount for us to have, and it allows us, I suppose, to execute on our strategy for 2021 to 2024. Particularly our 3-year plan from 2022 to 2024. And, we're well capitalized now. We had a 99% subscription rate. And that's we had a lot of Irish investors. So when I spoke about earlier about being listed on the, why are we listed in the NASDAQ? We've hundreds of Irish investors that were able to, they know our product, they're even customer of ours, and they were able to invest in our company, which wouldn't be possible in Ireland with the infrastructure and the ecosystem that's in place. So we have a range of Irish and Nordic investors. The board and the management, including myself, CEO, and the other, we all exercise warrants. I think it's important to highlight is we'll be 3 years listed this December. I've never personally sold shares in the company, nor have my other 2 co-founders sold shares. So, I hope that highlights our belief in the company. We're going to use the warrant raise to pay down debts. We're also going to use it to invest in technology. So, I suppose our whole strategy is simple. It's just to make it simple for people and businesses to book a waste service online. And that's all we need to do, is that when people go online, they can navigate through our website and book a service quickly. I know most of our competitors in the waste industry in Ireland and a good few in the UK, and they're not technology focused. So, we just be replicating what has been done in other industries. The investment in technology for us is, we're currently building a new version of our e-commerce platform. And we're also continually investing each month in tech. And I think it's important to highlight as well, our losses, we don't capitalize our investment in tech. We put that in our P&L. So that investment that we're putting into tech, shows up in our losses. But we're continually doing that, and that's making us a better company. And we're investing in growth. I think you can see from my slide at the beginning, we're continually growing quarter on quarter. To us, it feels like we're pushing an open door as people, are at home and they're used to now booking all their other services online. Why not book your waste services online? So, summary in the final slide is, we feel that we're well capitalized after the warrant program. We have a good product market fit. And what I mean by that is there's certain cities we go into and people want what we have. There's certain cities throughout Europe that I've spoke to people and they don't understand our product or what we're offering because they don't have a need for what we're selling. But like in cities like Manchester, Dublin, there's a need for people to be able to book waste services online, that they can quickly find prices for whatever product they need, rather than going through multiple websites looking for, can I trust this waste company? With us, people can trust us. We have brilliant reviews online. We've good customer service, and every operator we use is licensed. We first mover advantage. We're probably the only people doing what we're doing, that's, building a brand like a Just Eat or a Deliveroo, where people just can go onto it and they know that whatever waste service they need, they can book through us. We're consistently high growth. So, we set out when we did the IPO, we set out and said that we want to grow. We want that we're going to be aggressively growing. I feel we've done that even during COVID. We have grown month to month, quarter and quarter since we launched. That's the platform I'm speaking about. And then that's 80% of our business. And then 20% is our other product, which is the big bins. And that big bin business is, like I spoke about earlier, is although capital intensive, it's high margin business and recurring revenue. And that has grown 50% in Q2 2021 versus Q1 2020 or Q2 2020. So that business as well has been very successful, and we feel there's a lot of potential to scale this product. throughout Ireland and other countries in Europe and America. So I suppose I'll finish. I've got 40 seconds and I'll finish on this is, we are in an industry, everyone generates waste. Everyone has a problem where to get rid of their rubbish or their waste or their furniture, and especially get rid of it correctly and ethically. And we feel that we have a global product here. We're just beginning. We feel the next few years about us are executing on our strategy and building the brand Kollect in the cities where there's a market for what we are selling. So I'll leave it at that. Thank you. Any questions?
Okay, thank you very much, Jan. Very interesting. We don't have so many waste management companies at the Swedish stock market, so it's nice to have you here. You are what I call the first company with let's say disruptive company in the waste business area. But do you see something more from new competitors, or are you still alone with this new business model?
Yes, there's a number of companies coming into the market, but I feel like we've got 5 years behind us now, and we've invested in new tech. So look, the waste industry, as I spoke about earlier, is just one of those industries that hasn't been disrupted. So there's huge opportunities within the waste industry, but we've got a good head start on our competitors.
Okay, and as I understood it, you have presence in the Irish market, of course, but you have also some presence in UK, and tell us a little more about the UK business, your plans, and what's your next step.
Yeah, so the UK is over the next few years we expect to grow our footprint here. Currently, we've been operating all COVID sort of put like everything, COVID slowed down our growth in the UK. So we're just really resetting here in the UK and growing again. So there's huge opportunities. There's like 45 million people who need what we have, who need this waste services. So we'd be very ambitious for the UK to grow here over the next few years.
And you about the Brexit, you don't see any new problems about after the UK Brexit?
No, we've got a UK company as part of our group structure. And we've been operating here for 2 years. We have a team on the ground here as well. So it's made no impact to us.
It's also a question a little bit about competitors. How do the traditional waste companies react on you? What are they doing?
Yeah, so in Ireland and the UK, they like dealing with us. Waste operators, the industry's changed. Like, people like booking services online, and it wouldn't be a strength for waste companies to invest in the online product. So they like what we're selling. They like that we get the customers and we look after them. And then most waste operators are very good at collecting waste and process waste, so they can focus on their strengths. And that allows us to acquire customers on their behalf and manage that. So it's a beneficial relationship for both parties.
Okay, and I'm not familiar with the waste collecting industry outside Sweden, but in Sweden I think the municipalities are contracting subcontractors, and they got local monopolies in the municipality in Sweden for some years. Does that what does this model, this structure, do for your opportunities in a country like Sweden?
Yeah, so for us,
is Sweden different from other countries?
Yes, Sweden, there's some countries in Europe that are similar to Sweden. So those won't be countries we'll be going into in the next few years. There's other cities and countries like the UK and states in America and Australia where the waste industry is totally privatized and municipalities don't have any part of it.
But I think it is privatized in Sweden, but the municipalities are contracting private subcontractors, I think.
Oh yes. Yeah. But what
maybe you know more about the Swedish market than I do, but okay.
No, in those cities, like say in Ireland, for instance, or in Australia, a householder, if I want my domestic waste collected, I have 10 different companies I can pick, and I go to them and I pay them whatever they're charging. So some companies will charge me €250 a year. Some companies will charge me €350 a year. They'd give me different frequencies of collections. So it's totally privatized, as in the customer goes direct to the waste company, and there's numerous waste companies to choose from.
Oh, okay. Thank you. If we yes, we can look at your figures. We have seen a steady growth from last year, and what can you say about your revenue growth looking forward 1 year forward? If we are looking 1 year forward.
Yeah, so we don't. What I would say is, we have a history of since we've been listed of growth quarter and quarter. So we're very ambitious. There's a huge market to disrupt. Like I spoke about earlier, we feel like we're pushing an open door. So, obviously we're going to maintain this high growth because we're ambitious and we're moving into new markets. So, look, the waste industry is 100, it's 100 billion or 100 SEK industry, 100 billion SEK industry in the UK. So, and as I said, only a small percentage is booked online, probably 1%. So we feel that we can maintain these high growth figures.
If I invest in your company, what risks am I going to look a little extra for? Main risk factors when investing in your company.
Yeah, I think we've addressed. It's good that in the last quarter we did the warrant raise, because it means we're well capitalized now. Yeah. And previously to this we weren't probably. So I think we've. I think a lot of, obviously I'm very bullish about the company, and I think there's a lot of opportunity. Probably one question that comes up a lot from Swedish investors is, why are you listing here? Like, why Sweden? And I hope I've answered that. We're an ambitious company. We need to grow capital. We liked the Swedish model for raising, for growing and their understanding of tech. So we felt it was the right place to be, and we feel there's other Irish companies now looking at us to see how we get on over the next few years. But that's the main reason we listed in Sweden was the ecosystem and the supports here for entrepreneurs in tech industry.
Yes, we welcome a lot of more Irish companies to Sweden, so you can talk to your friends. Yeah. Yes, my last short question. So where do you want to see your company? Where do you want to see Kollect in, let's say, 3 years?
Okay, so it's really simple, and internally, this is what we talk about a lot. Is we just want, in the cities where we're operating in Manchester, when a business or a household has a waste need, no matter what it is, they think of our brand Kollect. They go Kollect. So we become that brand for waste, that no matter what your waste need is, we can give you a solution and a price, and you can decide to go ahead. So it's really to build a brand in all the cities we're operating. And, we're very ambitious. We want to be in as many cities as possible over the next 3 years.
Okay. Thank you very much, Jan. Very interesting, and good luck.
Thanks for having me on. Take care.